Welcome back to my videos. I'm Tyler and today we're doing another video of backpacking in Mexico. Today's video is backpacking in Guadalajara. Now I made a Guadalajara video before, so if you haven't seen that, go check that one out. That was kind of the first touchdown. Then I went to Sayulita and now I'm back in Guadalajara. Just get my nuts and bolts together before I go down to Oaxaca. Let's begin. I'll tell you all what happened in my second time in Guadalajara. Breaking this down in 4 parts. There's the losing money, kind of getting my bolts together. Second one's going to a friend's house. Third one, buying a skateboard and skating the city. And then the fourth is the night of leaving. To begin with, I got some money and got on the bus, as I was talking about in my last video. This bus gets done, I go to my hostel and I check in for the night. The next morning I wake up and I realize that that money I withdrawed from the ATM on that bus ride was not in my wallet. Where was this money?
Can't find the cash. Where's the cash? I was in so much of a hurry that I put the cash inside a bag where I eventually put all my trash in and I threw away. My only hope is that I didn't throw it away and somewhere it's in my backpack and I'll find it one day and 900 pesos, there we go. A nice reward.
To this day, I've checked my backpack. I cannot find where this money went. This money disappeared, literally. I had no clue. 50 US dollars just, woo, gone. Eventually, after getting past the whole losing the money, I had to get my day started. And I wanted to buy a tent for the south because I wanted to go camp on the beaches. I ended up leaving my hostel and searching for a bus. Now, searching for a bus, in big cities you have to go to the bus station or the bus stop. So, for me, I didn't know this because I'm from North Dakota, so I was like trying to flag these buses down and they were just whooshing past me, whooshing. It was really embarrassing. I was standing there and a Mexican guy came up and he's like, hey man, there's a bus stop over there. That's probably a better shot than what you're doing now. I listened to him and he was right.
Maybe I'm at a bad spot.
¿Paraba el autobús?
Sí.
Ah,
¿Dónde?
A la otra cuadra. Está en una casetita. Espérame, deja cruzar ahorita, te digo dónde está una, dónde está.
Sí. I don't know what the fuck he just said. He told me to go on the other street. Ahí? Ah. Sí. Yeah. Gracias. Okay, so Guadalajara is fucking super sick. Sayulita has so many foreigners and so many gringos coming in and out that they kind of just, I felt like they were ignoring me. But when I come here, people will go out of their way to speak to me because they see that I'm like a gringo. And it's cool, I'm different. I'm from a different culture. But in Sayulita, it was like, oh, you're not local, so we're not going to talk to you. And I hated that vibe. I hated how it was so cliquey. And then once you get to know people in Sayulita, then they start opening up. But it shouldn't be like that. Like here, if like I don't even have to talk to people, or if I just say like, hey, what's up, man? Then it just opens. Just the portal's been open at that point.
One thing leads to another. Get on a bus, go to the mall. I don't buy a tent, but I go to Walmart and I eventually buy one. Segueing from that, I have a friend in Guadalajara. I met her on couch surfing. We went to the concert. If you watch my last video, you can see her. So I was like, hey man, I don't want to live in any hostels right now because I want to save my money up for the south because I'm kind of running low, kind of not. Don't really know. I'm a little scared. And she's like, yeah, stay at my house. I got an extra room. My roommate's really chill. Just come over. I made the trek. She let me stay at her house for about, I'd say a week, maybe a week and a half. And during that week and a half, we made some food the first day. Second day, we went to a brewery and actually met some of her friends. Her friends were in this band. And this band was really cool because the harmonica, like there was a harmonica guy and he would freaking slay his solos. He was that good. Like I've never seen somebody rock a harmonica like that. And the beers are pretty tasty there. I also at that moment needed a backpack, so she took me backpack shopping. We went into this giant plaza. I think that would be what it's called. And in this plaza, there was all these tents with all these vendors. And half these people, you gotta kind of question where they got their merchandise from, if they didn't steal it, if they're not like thrifting it and selling it, if it's not like fresh. I don't know. It's a market, and in markets in Mexico, they're super, super duper cool. If I can stress that enough. You see a market, go. We walked around, got really tired out, eventually found a pack, and then that was that day. We also ended up just walking around the city. She showed me what was cool, what wasn't. And at this point, I thought I knew Guadalajara, or at least a little bit of it, but she completely showed me a new aspect of it. We actually landed in a skate shop, her and I, together. Moving from that moment, getting tongue-tied. So yeah, we went to a skate shop, and I later ended up buying a skateboard from this place. And that's something I really missed, because traveling, I missed my culture, I missed my friends and my family, and so buying this skateboard and being able to skate around, since I'm a skater myself, it made me feel a lot better, and I'm so glad I made this purchase. I bought this skateboard, and the owner, he's like, hey man, you want to go skate sometime? And I was, fuck yeah, I want to go skate. When don't I want to skate? So next morning I wake up super early, he takes me and we find a skate spot like this. He just takes me into his favorite area and we skate it, we kill it. It's really cool how skateboarding, I grew up with it and other people also grew up with it. Like, it brought us together. We didn't even have to speak the same language. It was just that connecting factor. Loved it. And then he dropped me off and I skated the city, skating downtown Guadalajara. God, man, that shit was freaking cool, man. Skating and like cruising and carving on the street. You can hear the cobblestone. Like, drrr. I was living the moment. I was living life and I was enjoying it. So this is over the course of a week so far, a week and a half maybe. Eventually, it all kind of came to an end, and my last night in Guadalajara was really relaxed. My friend who I was living at her house, her roommate was like, hey Tyler, you're not doing anything tonight? You want to go rock climbing? Fuck yeah, I want to go rock climbing! He took me rock climbing, and I wish I would have filmed it. I honestly wish I would have. My camera was dead, and I didn't have it with me, but we went bike riding and eventually got to the area, and it was the biggest arena or area for rock climbing. I'll put a picture in here. I've never been at this intense of a rock climbing session. Like, I'm that guy who's like, oh yeah, I can rock climb, baby. Yeah, come on, watch this. And I would get my ass kicked. I can't rock climb. I can't rock climb. There was like degrees. There was fucking melt your face off and like little baby. And even the baby, man, those are like baby steroid babies. Like, that shit was hard. Needless to say, I wasn't good at rock climbing, and that proved it. It was a good way to end the night because I went to bed around 12 and I had to wake up for my airplane at 4 a.m. the next day. Went to the airport. I noticed it was a lot different than Mexico City.
So guys, I just made it in, and I made it in record time. Mexico City in DF, shit was fucking batshit crazy. I was waiting. If I didn't have my friend, I would have missed my flight because I got there with like maybe 2 hours to spare, and their lines were just fucking crazy. People after people, and it was like 5 in the morning, not even that, maybe 4. And my friend, she's local, and she like was able to get me through. I think I might have talked about it. I don't know if I did or not. But this time, I went through like this all by myself. Like, Guadalajara was so relaxed, so relaxed. Everything in Guadalajara is relaxed compared to DF. DF is fucking batshit crazy.
Eventually I got settled into this airplane, and it was the weirdest airplane ever. Weirdest airplane ever to the south. Okay, imagine this. I'm just laying down in the airplane. I'm sitting in my chair trying to sleep. That's how it was. I was laying in my spot. And then I heard the intercom. Now in airplanes, The only time you hear intercoms is right in the beginning and right at the end. In between the flight there, the airport, the pilot coming on saying, "Oh, rough winds and turbulence." So I'm sleeping, and suddenly I hear like the intercom going off and I hear people yelling. I'm thinking like, holy shit, this airplane's going down. I'm about ready to push the person down next to me, freaking run for a parachute and jump off this plane. I write about this in my blog. Link is in the description below. Turns out they were having a raffle. So this airplane company must have been a new thing in Guadalajara, and they had some promotions going on. So they were doing a raffle over the intercom, and I'm thinking like the plane's coming down, end of the world, doomsday. I didn't know what the frick was going on, dude. No clue. But it was a good kick to the beginning of my experience to Oaxaca, because once I get to Oaxaca, the fun does not stop. I meet a lot of crazy people and I see a lot of the crazy aspects of the South. So you cannot miss this next video, because this next video is definitely worth watching. The South is when Mexico comes alive and when the culture is at its finest. So tune in for the next one. Fuck yeah!